What's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
Next step after this is implementing that for NFTs. Now, you guys may have heard of Arc Protocol. They're making great strides on this protocol called ICS 721, and that's an IBC spec for transferring NFTs. We have ICS 20, which works for the CW20 tokens, the fungible tokens. They're implementing the exact same thing for NFTs. And so what this is going to enable is NFTs that are generated on Stargaze, that are generated on Osmosis, Migaloo, Neutron Injective, et cetera, et cetera. What you're going to be able to do is create DAOs using those NFT collections. And then the same process happens here. So you have one-click staking, unstaking. You can send rewards to your NFT communities, and shortly in the future, in the very near term, we're going to enable that user experience with NFTs, so that regardless of what chain you spawn that NFT on, what community it's a part of, you're going to be able to use Enterprise. And so that's in the very near future, I would say. Realistically, within the next month and a half, as soon as Arc comes out, with their finalized protocol, we're going to be on that, right? Like, we've already made advancements in the contracts to support that. We're just waiting on them. They're finishing up audits, making sure that it's super clean and crispy, and then we're going to be putting that in. So stay tuned for that. But apart from the cross-chain UX, which is going to be a default, by the way, for any chain that we go on, I think the next immediate steps that I can think of are, number one, obviously supporting more chains. Cosmos chains, first and foremost, if you have IBC hooks on your chain. And at the moment, I'm kind of looking into, what if chains don't have IBC hooks? How can we still get on those chains? Because not all chains have them, but we don't want to, limit ourselves based on that one module. So we're going to see if we can support that, get more chains. And recently, you guys may have seen a tweet that I made, where I'm talking about how every chain is a Cosmos chain. And what this means is EVM as well. EVM, Solana, all those big chains. We want to have that exact same experience again, on EVM chains. So once you spawn up a DAO, you can select, Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, any of these chains, and you can spawn an outpost on those. And so right now I've actually been POCing away, making some proof of concepts, to see how we can do that so that we can support literally any chain anywhere, and truly make every chain a Cosmos chain, which is what I believe. I think the next iteration in crypto is going to be bridges and simplifying bridges, bridging all this tech together so that you can use it. You can use every chain the same way that you would use any other chain. They'd all have the same experience. So next step, more chains, more types of chains, getting enterprise everywhere. Yeah, and then we can stop there for a sec because I've been monologuing for the past 10 minutes. So if there's any questions regarding that, I can answer them. We can divert a little bit, or I can continue with the roadmap, because there's two more major areas of focus that I want to bring enterprise in, within the near future.
Yeah, no, that was that. I mean, I'm personally very excited for that. I think JG requested to speak here as well, so I don't know if JG looks like he's he's emoting himself to death over here with like 7,000 emojis. So I think he has something he wants to come in with.
Hey, I'm always just super bullish. I'm a crazy old lunatic, and the fact that in the midst of all the bullshit that we're just holding spaces and deploying products and getting ready for the next evolution, like this is the shit that I live for. I want to like have like a rebellion. I want to make a movement again. I want to fire people back up. I think that people forget that like TFL, like Do Kwon's about to go to battle for our freedom right now, and like. It's not time to get scared. It's time to like buckle down and like make this shit valuable, and so they can't break us again. And Enterprise is a fantastic tool to unite all chains and make all the cosmos stronger, more censorship resistant, more decentralized. This is like where we really get to that next evolution. Backbone is super excited to use these products as we get to go to other places. We're getting ready to go to Osmosis and deploy this NFT-fi system. And TFL has been crucial to our development, and Chris has helped us multiple times. And we're loyal people, and we're not shook by any of this bullshit at all. So to us, we're super pumped about everything you guys got coming out. We're getting ready to mint the Galactic mining company right now on the Necropolis. That's going to be just in like 30 minutes. We're really excited. This is another great project. Like this is what we live for. Let's synergize. Let's just keep going. Honestly, right at the end of the day, like everything that they throw at us at this point is just fucking noise. Like whatever, dude. Anyway, that's all I got, guys.
We love you. Vlad,
Yeah,
go ahead.
obligatory applause there. Uh, I very much appreciate JG and the Skeleton Punks community. They've been users from day one. Enterprise Beta, Enterprise V1, they've been here through it all, providing feedback. We've been, having calls with Skeleton Punks and JG. And he's always just trying to, catch up and make sure that we're doing well. He's always got updates. Their website looks fantastic, by the way. That thing looks like a video game. And it's satisfying just navigating the pages. So if you guys haven't checked that out, check it out for sure. Whoever your front end dev is, shout out to them as well. Doing a great
That's
job.
that's
Appreciate it,
Octane
JG.
Octane Luna. We're about to do a huge big update because trying to keep up with you guys and scaling horizontally, we realized that we had first not built this appropriately. So we are definitely getting ready for our big update to keep up with you guys, and so we can scale. We want to scale with Enterprise. White Whale, Enterprise, like all these projects that understand the multi-chain thesis. To us, this is like exactly who we're trying to hitch our wagons to and synergize with because look, the more the merrier, the stronger, the better. Like the better these things just can talk. Like the harder it's going to be to tear us down, right? Like so, we got to get better communication again. We got to get better organized again. And I think Enterprise is going to be a fantastic way to make Web3 businesses function well, communities function well. And when you have this type of communication, like you can get shit done, right? Like all of a sudden, communities become dangerous because they can become coordinated and like things can happen and it can be accounted for. And like this is super powerful. I always say, like, look, I'm terrified of the CBDC, right? So this to me is like where it has to happen. We have to have people who are dedicated to running equipment in like censorship resistant areas, and we have to have people who are dedicated to always kind of being the resistance or always having an alternative pathway. That's why I'm here, and that I believe in what TFL started. I believe in Do Kwon. I can't wait for him to have his day in court because at the end of the day, the truth will come out in the court, and I think he's a good guy overall. If mistakes were made, fucking mistakes happen. That's okay. I think he's a good guy. That's just my personal 2 cents on it, right? What the fuck do I know? I'm just a guy who fucking sells skeleton punks. But I'm saying.
Well, thanks for coming up, JG. We appreciate you, sir. We always appreciate you, and we appreciate your support on Enterprise as well.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Take care.
Thanks. Vlad, did you have some other stuff that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, shall we go on? I got a ton of stuff I'm excited for, to be
We
honest.
shall go on, sir. The show shall go on. And by
All
the way,
right.
welcome. I see Galactic Punks They're in here as well. They recently migrated over to Enterprise. They're using Enterprise now for their NFT community, which is fantastic. Shout out to the Galactic Punks. Shout out to
Shout
Sephi
out
as well.
Galactic Punks.
The OG lunatic Sephi is here as well. Shout out to him. All right, go ahead, Bud.
Cool. Yeah. So we talked about the UX, right? The cross-chain UX, making that native. We talked about expanding to different chains, making every chain a Cosmos chain. Um, Next up, let's talk a little bit about users and the ease of use of the protocol itself. Um, what we truly want is to make enterprise completely no code. Um, and so this means that like every time you create a WASM message, right? Like you're coding, you need a coder to do like custom stuff. You end up having people, taking those assets off to a hot wallet because they can utilize that wallet and do what they want to do without having a developer. Those that do have developers, they're fortunate enough to be able to create these custom messages. And even then, sometimes stuff goes wrong. You don't write that correctly. One letter's off, and your whole thing's just dust. Um, that's a problem that I've identified, and I've been looking towards ways to fix that. Um, so two ways right now that I'm thinking of doing that is number one, proposal builders, like custom proposal builders. It's like, what if I want to send more than one asset within a single proposal? Um, what if I want to mint an asset and then send it, right? Like, why does that have to be two proposals? We're currently designing a proposal builder where instead of all of these actions that you do being their own proposals, you can mix and match them and kind of, Mad Libs them into one proposal, modify those parameters, and then create a single proposal that just does a bunch of stuff. The common stuff like sending, minting, burning, et cetera, et cetera. We're not going to get all those permutations. You can't make a single rigid proposal for every possibility of what you're able to do. And so having proposals with multiple actions, multiple custom actions that are all no code, I think is really going to benefit the developers and the DAO creators that might not want to spend their precious development time, getting people to deposit into an LP, for example. Like that's so much time, and you got to make sure it's right because those are assets, right? And it's a lot more difficult to do a test send on a DAO because that means you have to do two proposals, a test proposal and then a bigger one. And so I think actions are going to cover a lot of that. But actions don't cover everything. You can do a lot of things doing, custom actions like that. But I think where this really comes together is allowing users to use a DAO or a multi-sig or anything like that as if they're using their regular wallet. We've seen this on Gnosis safes on Ethereum where there's Gnosis safe apps. You literally just go into the application recognizes your Gnosis safe as a wallet, and all you would do is click a button, that proposal gets created, and that's it. I think we really need to get to a point where we could do that on enterprise as well. It's like, regardless of what application you're using, it just feels like you're using the application. You don't have to write anything. You don't have to code anything. You click a button, generates a proposal, and boom, people are voting on it. Votes go in, you submit it, and that's it. And you know it's correct. And that's going to make it so much simpler. We're going to get way less support requests that covers so much feedback because we literally just cover all of the ground by doing that. Any new protocol that comes out, well, enterprise will by default support that because it'll support any application. And so we're really working on architecting that system and finding a way to integrate that. And that's something I'm personally really excited for.
Yeah, and you think about like the total addressable market for something like enterprise. Like I think, maybe people are failing to realize like how big this can be. So if you're assuming that like Web3 is going to grow, right? The entire Web3 ecosystem is going to grow, right? You're also fundamentally assuming that token businesses, NFT communities, those things are going to grow as well, right? And they need somewhere where they can manage their communities, do governance, enable staking rewards, enable NFT staking, enable regular token staking, things like that. And they need to be able to do it with a simple UX. And Terra has always valued simple UX. This is one of the things that the community loved and has continued to love, is just simplicity in being able to do things. And exactly what you're talking about right now, Vlad, is I think something that's ultimately sorely needed within enterprise to really realize the vision of enabling every community. Because the thing is, not every community is going to have someone that can do these custom laws and messages, like you said, you know, or are they going to want to if there's an alternative?
Right. And to continue on your point, right? Like the total addressable market will have an even larger market to play with, right? Like if the communities grow, the things that they can do will grow as well. And instead of playing catch up all the time, where a new protocol comes out, say like a DAO can now buy a house. Um, we're gonna have requests saying, "Oh, like, can you guys please like put in this proposal type where we can buy a house with our DAO?" Like, we shouldn't have to do that. It should just be available right away. So if the app comes out, you just go on their UI, you use it, and proposal comes up, voting goes through, and now your DAO has a house.
Yeah, and I think like on the point of total addressable markets, like I do believe the total addressable market is huge because not only token DAOs will need this, but also like on the long term, like potentially we can also have applications like the DAOs like the apps themselves having their DAO managed here and even blockchain. So like the addressable market is huge. And the better the product becomes, the more people will be excited to use it. But I think the addressable market is all the tokens, absolutely all the projects on Web3.
Oh yeah, ultimately, you need to have an offering that's too good to refuse, right? A product offering that's too good to refuse, that you're going to use it, right? Like the alternative doesn't even make sense. That's the stage that we want to get to, you know? So
That's right on.
yeah, is there
So
anything else on the enterprise side of things that you wanted to talk about, Vlad? Otherwise, we could shift over to Eduardo to
yeah.
talk about some of the things he's excited about
So
as well.
I'm
There's a
gonna
lot
make
of
this
things that
last
Vlad's
point
excited
really
about, by the
short.
way. You can see Vlad's very excited about things, guys. We haven't even gotten to Eduardo. I asked that question like 15, 20 minutes ago, I think.
Yeah, I apologize. One
No,
last
no.
thing that I'll cover this super quick, but um, you know, most of the users on Enterprise are people that are not creating proposals. They're just voting. They're just doing things. They're claiming their airdrops. They're claiming their rewards, staking, unstaking. They're using these DAOs. And so I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but how about we focus on those users as well? Let's make it super fun and interesting to use. Something that you want to go and just check out every day. Have some fun. Make it super interesting and just attract those regular users to Enterprise as well. Make it something that you can discover DAOs there. You can track a bunch of stuff. You can, possibilities are endless here, but we also want to start focusing on the user side of things. Those regular users that are just, more participants, because they do make up the bulk of the user base. And it's just as important for DAOs to focus on those people, so we should too.
You hear that, users? We love you. We love the users. All right, Eduardo, do you wanna come in with some of the things
Yes,
that you're excited about?
of course. Like choosing the ones that I'm most excited about is difficult, but because it's like I have this table full of delicious dishes, and I have to choose the one that I like the most. But I would have to say, like Foundation is definitely one of the ones I'm most excited about. It's something that we've been working on for a couple of months now on Pulsar. And I do believe there's a huge need for data and infrastructure in the market, which is like the space is still open. There's no big player that is completely like providing the solution that people need, that projects need. There's still a lot of projects building their own custom solutions from scratch, which to me, when I look at that, it seems so inefficient. Everybody building the same thing, and I do believe this is something that needs to be launched soon. But then again, we can have a different like chat about foundation in another call. I do believe it's a very complex product, so it's probably worthwhile to have more time in order to explain it. Another project that I'm also really excited about, it's a product that I cannot talk about yet, but inside TFL, we're working on a very interesting, looking into a very interesting product that is still not public. We're still obviously talking about it. We've talked about it here in the engineering offsite, but it's something that also gets me very excited, because there's definitely a lot of space for this, and the market really needs it too.
Secret projects. This crowd's used to it, Eduardo. This crowd's used to this TFL secret projects because there's almost never a time where we don't have something that we're just toying around with in the background that people just don't know about yet. And any one of those ideas could spring out into a full-fledged product that ends up being a game changer for the Terra ecosystem. That's ultimately like how I think a lot of the best things get created.
Of course, that's true for sure. Especially in the infrastructure side of things, there's a lot of problems that you only see when you face them. And this is something that happens a lot in the market. Sometimes you have to build things in order to identify the problems of the market. And being at TFL, we're building so much different stuff that you really hit these problems head on. And you have to find solutions for yourself. And a lot of the times when you find these solutions for yourself, it's also something that other projects have the need for too. So it's just obviously a good approach to package it in a way that other people can use, where you can effectively provide this solution for others and accrue value to Luna.